It turns out that here in America, almost everything that you eat is genetically modified, unless it's labeled organic. And so Americans are profoundly ignorant of how their food has been manipulated. And this is something that people in other countries are a lot more concerned about than Americans. And in fact, they have very strict rules and regulations and labeling policies, and refuse to import some American foods because our food is so heavily genetically modified. We have an interesting situation where just in the last, let's say, 2 generations, 1.5 generations, we've totally changed our food supply in this country. So we went from lots of farmers, very important, many people living in the country, growing their own food, producing food, selling food, to really fairly recently, not so many horses, not so much horse-drawn stuff, mechanized stuff. It's really kind of an outgrowth of World War II, the use of fertilizers, the use of petroleum products, and this change to giant landowners or people who lease land and mechanized production. And along with that mechanized production, a huge increase in petroleum products for gasoline, for fertilizers, pesticides, and for shipping also. So the transportation of food, we get food from Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Florida, California, and it's kind of rare to get local produce now, unless you go to an organic market or a local market or a farmer's market on the weekend. So the short-term costs to people, it seems cheaper, but the long-term costs in reality are going to be quite steep because of using up our fossil fuels to produce all that gasoline that it takes to move things and to use the fertilizers. And the taste has gone down because once you mechanize production, farm production, then you have to breed for things that ripen all at the same time, that have tough coats. And you're not breeding for things that taste good. And so it's incredible that in such a short time we've had that huge change in our own society, whereas the present young generation has no idea how their great-grandparents perhaps lived and ate things more locally.
My name is Mandy Churchwell. We're from Orangeburg County, and our little stand is called the Veggie Patch, HC Farms Veggie Patch. We have about 15 acres of land, specialize in watermelons and cantaloupes, tomatoes, and peanuts. And then in the fall, we go to greens, collards, and broccoli, and turnip greens.
My name is Eric McClam. I am one of the farm manager for City Roots Sustainable Farm. We are the one and only farm in the city of Columbia. We actually went in front of, had to get the zoning changed to actually have an urban farm. We could actually have an asphalt emulsion plant on our site. We couldn't have a farm. So we had to get that changed first, got a variance for that. We have a 3-acre site, which we brought in about 50 truckloads of city compost. We have a retail building on site and a greenhouse. We do a variety of row crops. We have tilapia, which we raise. The water in a symbiotic closed-loop relationship. We cycle that water through raised plant beds, which the water is highly fertile, which fertilizes the plants, reoxygenates the water, and goes back into the tank. So it's a sustainable closed-loop system, which in addition, we actually harvest the fish and sell them at market as well.
My name is Kathleen. Our farm is Peaceful Villa. It's in Orangeburg. We enjoyed the idea of having our own food. We wanted to trust where our food comes from, and the best way to do that is to grow your own. We don't use the pesticides or the chemical fertilizers. We grow everything as you see. We have a fruit orchard, and when that's through, we always have the vegetables as well that'll carry us through the winter. And we bring all of our products to farmer markets. We didn't know too much about all that when we first started, and all of a sudden we had plums coming out our ears, and we said, oh, we got to figure out what to do. So we learned how to get to farmer markets.
Well, Healthy Carolina is an organization, or a department rather, on campus. We do a lot of health-related assessment and policy research, and a huge project out of our office is the Healthy Carolina Farmers Market. The Farmers Market just celebrated its 1-year anniversary this past September. And basically the point of the market was to give students and faculty and staff an opportunity to purchase fresh fruits and vegetables on campus. And also to kind of connect our students and our campus community to the importance of local agriculture and the importance of sustaining the local economy, and how much our farmers really depend on that local economy, as well as how we can support them and help the local food movement keep growing. It's healthier to eat things that are locally grown. They often contain more vitamins and minerals than products that have been shipped in from other countries. And also the impact on the environment. When we're relying on foods to be shipped in from other countries or across the country, that makes a very large environmental footprint. So why not spend that money locally, supporting local farmers, and lessen the environmental footprint while increasing the health and the nutritional content of the food we eat. The reaction has really been very, very positive, and we're so glad that the Carolina community has responded so well to the market, and it's really just prompted us to keep it going and sustain it.
But, we really enjoy bringing our produce to people, and they seem to like having local produce at real good prices and fresh and tastes better than what they get at the store. And they just like that it's from South Carolina, and they can just bring it right from my farm straight to their table.
I think it's a wonderful thing to have it here located on campus for students and professors and people in the city of Columbia.
I think it's wonderful, I really do. I appreciate the way they teach the students how to appreciate the food that comes to them from local sources, from non-chemical processes, and it's just a great way of supporting us as local farmers. We like it a lot.